I used to say yes to everything, and even when it meant sacrificing my own sanity. But then I realized the power of saying no and how would it actually freed up my time and my energy for things that I truly cared and then about. In this video, I will share my journey and sharing practical tips on how to say no with grace and confidence. But the art of saying a no with the grace and confidence is just like we just started a hooking thing that just relatable scenario about the regret or overwhelm or resentment. Do you ever felt like completely swamped because you just couldn't say no to anything until any action to? And so they acknowledge this difficulty and just briefly touching upon why saying no to the certain things in your life isn't hard for many people. It could be so much reasons to not just saying a no. For the yes, everything there's going to be accepting, a fear of disappointing, a guilt, the being seen as unhelpful, or we call it FOMO, the FOMO. They just a core benefit of this video, of course, learning to say how to know if it is necessary for your well-being, your mental well-being, of course, and then effectively you're protecting your time, your energy, and your well-being as well, and prioritizing maintaining these positive relationships in your life. And so these outline these in the end of this video you will gonna be learn why we will cover why this no is so much powerful in this, and different ways to say it, and how to feel confident and grace with it to say these statements. And so the talking about and saying these certain situations and saying a no is quite essential, and protecting your time and energy, as I said before. And when you say how you say every time yes to something you don't surely want to participate or don't want to do, no, that is something you do. The emphasizing is the finite, the nature of these resources, etc., your time, your energy, and of course, and firstly, the primary thing that's setting these healthy boundaries. And no defines your no is not really defining your limits or to communicate what you're comfortable with. They're leading to your healthy relationships 100%. And at the end of this, reducing your stress and a burnout situation, it could be, and an inability to say to no, it could be increase your stress and your overwhelm and the potential burnout in the end of the day. And the common obstacles to saying to no among the society, the fear of the disappointing the others, and just underlying anxieties. It could be the guilt that we just mentioned before, the feeling that you just say help or yes, saying the yes at all, or the fear of missing out that we just had before, say the FOMO thing, especially relevant in social media, and desire to be liked, to seen. Every human being wants to be liked and seen as a good person, and this misconception to saying to yes equates to kindness, but it's not the same thing in just real life. And just occurring in the yes it equates to the kindness. It's just not a cure, and lack of practice and skills, and could be as simply and knowing how to articulate a no. And those could be deleting the strategies for no to gracefully, and this is a quite important the skill that you just have to evaluate or to reinforce. If you cannot say to the no without a guilt or just not prioritizing your well-being, for the no frills, the no, the direct and clear, and just you could say no, I can't, no, I won't be able to. For example, the low stakes requests that you just don't want to do, and no lengthy and excuses needed, and just less is exactly is more. And when you just do less and just saying in the no you just don't want to do and participate, and less is always is more. And the later no, just let me check, just delaying it to put on to some appointment or to any date. It could be anything. Just it could be you could say that let me check in my schedule and get back to you. And you could, and after that, just saying this type of the phrase, you're just going to buy time and avoiding the spot pressure. and any other kind of things that are just external situations that come to you. And I needed to think about that, just the reframing that the situation, and that the request I just asked you for the coming yes, saying yes or no. And the partial yes or conditional yes, it just are fully depending on you. But I can't do X, but I can help you with Y. But I'm sorry, and offering an alternative or smaller contribution, if you genuinely want his help in some capacity, if you have some that particular person just have some value in your life, that is just partially you could say yes, but conditional yes, of course we couldn't say, but I can do this, blah blah blah, and comma, but I would need the specific condition or the resources, and setting boundaries on your involvement at that type of the situation. And why no, just brief explanation. I would love to, but I'm already commitment to the another project. Continue the situation. Unfortunately, that doesn't fit in my priorities right now, or the boundary to know. I don't let that money, or I don't discuss the work after 6 p.m. You're just setting boundary in the primary. The things you're just trying to do be more and prioritizing your well-being, and it buys the time, of course. And of course that these things are the pre-established personal rules. And the compliment no, because I don't know, this sounds like a little bit fantastic opportunity, but I won't be able to take it on. The validates the idea or the request, or the but firmly declines at the end of the day. And so this validates their idea, you just declined firmly. No, I couldn't do that, but this really sounds like fantastic. But a broken record, and then no, the politely repeating your no if it's someone is persistent without charging your stance or offering a new excuses. If it's just the person keep on you asking again and again, it's just a block out and broken record, and politely just repeating your no, and just, or maybe just block out and buys your time and prioritize your well-being. And key, if you're just passing the key principles of for confident, saying a no, being a polite or but firm, and avoid being an aggressive or apologetic. If you're being so much apologetic, the people will think you're being apologizing every single time, just say no, or they will be thinking of you just so much have sentimental value on you, and thinking about you just much have feeling so much sadness about saying to no. Or if you're just being so much aggressive, they will be thinking that you're just always a 24/7 aggressive, and just burn out of thing, just not effective on your relationships as really well. And don't over explain and apologize for these excessively. And excessively just apologizing, or just about put on the detail about just over explaining your situation to do why did you say to no at that situation. It can sound like you're inviting a negotiation or feel guilty. And it starts with practice. These practices are to start with low stakes situations and understanding your priorities firstly. And these priorities, knowing that what is significant for to you, that makes you know more easier, and you could even take one more closer step to saying to know what is not important to you to do or taking a participate in. And it's okay to disappoint someone if you just didn't care in your own life, and their reaction isn't your responsibility, and you are responsible for managing your own time and your well-being. That's it, it's over. And you don't need your permission to other people's to saying to no, and you are inherently allowed to say no whenever. Some of you might be thinking what will be consequences of the saying to no with a good and a grace. And so dealing with these reactions from the outside resource, for the people, from your environment, for your family, to anticipate these potential reactions. Some people might be so much disappointed, try to pursue you, or even get upset, but you have to stay calm and confident, and don't let their reaction derail you. And if it gives you the allow to derail you, reiterate your no if necessary, but politely but firmly. As that being said, and remember your why, and reconnecting to yourself and reconnect to the reasons you say to no, if I were to say to that event or the request that they say no, what could I do with that time, or for example. And if it is a not every time, 99% is not personal, often their reaction about their unmet need, not about your personality. And finally, the recap, the key takeaways, and I'm just reminding of the importance of the saying to no and some key strategies that I have mentioned inside of this video, and emphasizing so the skill that this skill has to be improved with practice, not just watching the video on my YouTube on here on social media. You just have to be practiced every single day, or you just have to be identify one area in your life, and you have to say no this week or today, or try out a new strategy for find a new way to solution, and finding the highest reaching the highest potential on mental well-being, and you're saying to no with grace and confidently. If you found this video is helpful, you know what you're gonna do: hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And I would like to see you for your comments about this video, how to say to no, what is your biggest challenge when it comes to saying to no around your circle, and subscribe for more content and share it with someone who needs to hear this. And I will see you in the next one. Stay healthy and peace.